we seem to be back. Not everyone managed to show up, but we're starting nonetheless because it's getting late. And I think the majority of the drivers are here, and with them, probably the most important drivers up on top, as I will have a quick peek into the championship standings that are very close up on top, I may tell you. Pretty much everyone has a say in Elite tier to this point. And let's see, we have... Oh my god, we have Dummy in the Williams leading the Drivers' Championship with 118 points, followed by Simmons in P2 with 112, and Rage Quit and Meshik tied on P4 with 111. So the first 4 drivers are within 7 points with 2 races to go. Pretty much as close as it can get. So yeah, those last events will be absolutely crucial. And I am very happy to see that all of Dummy, Simmons, Rage Quit and Meshik are here today to drive, and that they are not missing out on this final, or the few final chances, because that's gonna be a damn close championship. Hey Yellow Miller, welcome back. And so is the team championship, kinda, even though that is a little bit more decided for AlphaTauri, I think, as they have 168 points ahead of Renault's 139. And Alfa Romeo's 122. Williams in third, 118 points. It's just Dummy, really. No one else has scored points for Williams. As I think Kadrine has only been driving 2 races, maybe, but I'm not entirely sure about that at this point. So, first driver's probably Yellow Mellow, but we will likely spectate Rage Quit, as he is one of the top runners. And, well, Dummy, Simmons, Rage Quit, Meshik are gonna be the ones that we focus on more than the others today. As they are pretty much uncontested up on the top, and yeah, no one apart from these 4 can really do something. Or at least no one can win the championship apart from them. So, we have several drivers on their outlaps. In fact, almost the entire field on the outlap. Oh. Or what, Yellow? I would like to hear the context of your O. So I can maybe do something about it. Oh, you're driving. Oh, yeah. Hey, to be honest, since you're in the chat and you're driving and you're kind of multitasking this whole thing, we'll just get over to you for the beginning of this. Havoc. What's these O's for? Yeah, also Rage Quit abandoned his lap, so now we have a legitimate reason to stick with Yellow here. As it's looking so far. Wow, no clue. Just randomness. Shaking my head. Making my good old life a little harder. But yeah, Yellow Mill is gonna be the first one to set a lap time if he reaches the finish line without invalidating said lap time. And that is looking likely to be the case now, unless he cuts the very last corner. Which is actually impossible, because I think those count as 2. At least in the game. think IRL that might be just one corner. And 126.7. I think that is almost already the pole time from the last session that we've seen. So yeah, Simmons with 125.4, absolutely smashing everything already. Dummy in the mediums, still going sub 127, so looking super decent. I want to just not open my Steam overlay. I wanted to spectate Arch. I don't know why that happens. So annoyed at myself for the 5-second penalty. Yeah, it was kind of painful to see. To be honest, I don't know what, like, did you have like some kind of an issue with tires or whatever, front wing in the later stages of the race? Because you were looking like you could hold off all drivers behind quite well, and then you just got overtaken by crew and started losing time heavily to get that P4, I think, in the end. I mean, apart from that, it was pretty clean, right? No corner cutting penalties at all. Arch here, first 128 lap time. Not necessarily something you would brag about. Now we're gonna see how a Rage Quit is gonna do. He's trying to get a toe off Inferno Lewis. I don't know if that was worth, as Lewis was very slow to deny him said toe. However, Yellow Miller might have involuntarily helped Rage Quit on a bit quicker, and 126 flat. Now crew kept safe his ERS well for the overtake and kept it on to get away. Then Warlap had DRS on keyboard driver, so he kept in. Yeah, okay. Yeah, probably. I mean, it was very close. Hey, I said we're gonna focus on the top drivers, and well, then Rage Quit had an invalid lap or just let Lewis go by. And so I was like, okay, might as well stick with Yellow Miller at this point, because usually we stick with the first driver driving out in the very first lap. And I kind of felt bad for not doing that this time. Are there people on hot laps? I don't think lead tier drivers are usually racking up hot laps back to back. Oh, that's why the O came in. Yeah, we still watched you. Watched you drive a very decent lap for P6 currently. Heavy drivers looking stacked so far. There's still something in it for the drivers further down the grid. But yeah, currently there's not much going on track. Rage Quit is gonna be returning into the pits right about now, I think. Is he though? Yeah, he is. And it's gonna be Gorando on the next hot lap attempt. Just don't bring any commentator's curse with you. Hey, if I cursed you to be one of the top drivers. I don't know, man. That sounds pretty alright to me. And to be honest, I don't think I cursed you in Montreal, for example. That was pretty much... probably I cursed you there. Said you were driving too good and stuff. To be honest, I should just not talk about you, okay? Otherwise I will just feel bad. So let's talk about Gorando instead. He's driving his first hot lap attempt. Mikuhun's steering wheel broke apparently. That's why we see Ball-up again, subbing in for the Haas. And he's still in the pit, has not went out yet. There is a Ferrari in the wall somewhere, or rather, parking. That's been Fabian Gaming. I think he's gonna try to turn around now. Hopefully lets Harashun by without consequences. Does so, I think. So Harashun, this time will not get the toe, by the way. Usually the AlphaTauris go for some kind of a towing strategy. Montreal was just me being stupid. Yeah. Yeah, that was a little bit of a yikes. That didn't feel good watching it. So, yeah. I feel you there. So, anyways, Gorando has been up there with the top guys recently. and is not looking too bad here. Might be still in the 126s. No, a low 127. Enough for P9 currently. Certainly gonna be looking for more. But at this point, that's where he is right now. Arishun in P4 after his first hot lap. Once again, barely divided from his teammate time-wise. I think, yeah, Simmons should be the right address to watch now, as he's the current pole sitter, half a second ahead of Rage Quit currently. I'm expecting fierce rivalry between Dummy as well, as obviously the top 3 plus Dummy in P8, who has only set a time on the mediums, will battle out championship sooner or later. Well, sooner or later, either today or next week. Next week, by the way, was going to be... Damn it, I should have the calendar in my mind a little bit better, maybe. Well, we will have that pretty soon, and it's gonna be Austria. Austria is actually gonna be exciting for a last race. So much action possible there. We've seen such good races at... IRL, like both races this year, the 2 absolute bangers by Norris in the last lap have been just exciting to watch. But yeah, we're gonna see Simmons trying to reclaim pole here, and he does that by the slightest of all margins, improving his time but just a little bit. But Dummy, who was even a smaller bit ahead, is beaten by 5 thousandths of a second. That's really less than a blink of an eye, I think. Barely anything dividing these guys at all. It's just Rage Quit then, who has to roll up here and improve his time. Don't know if he's on a hot lap right now or if he was before as well. Yeah. He's going for another straight after the first one. His tires that he has on right now were already driven for a lap, so that means that he had an attempt previously that did not quite go all the way. But yeah, he has to make up roughly half of a second, so just like Mashik in P4, who's been split from his teammate by Inferno Lewis in P5 now. Rage Quit is looking quite decent so far, and with quite decent, I think. He's in it for at least the 25 time. Don't know if he can find 2/10ths in that last sector. He's gonna have to absolutely push it all out. The maximum limits of the track there in the last turn, and he does so quite well. Gains another 10th, but it's ultimately not enough. He's 1/10 behind the top runners still. I think Mashik's gonna be interesting now, as he's coming to an end now. A little bit of a sketchy exit out of the last turn there. But it is enough to go into the 125s as well, and the top 4 all have beaten the 126 line. The gap between P3 and P6 is pretty close. Was pretty close, I think. Now it's just P5 and, well, P7 maybe. But yeah, still, I agree, like, top runners are so close together this year, and I absolutely love it. Like, never mind. Yeah, but having these 4 guys up on top, like, battling the championship out like that, everyone can still win it. If Dummy doesn't win this, we might have a new leader of the leaderboards today. And it will ultimately not matter, because that person most likely has to win the next Grand Prix as well. Otherwise he's gonna be in trouble. So maximum pressure on the top runners and maximum exciting for us. Goji seems to be on a hot lap still, which is good, because basically everyone is currently on out laps or pits. It's just pits. Basically, it's just pit stop. Half a minute ago, it was like 0.2 seconds between 3 and 6. Yeah, but then Meshik and Rage Quit both improved their time by like a reasonable margin. I think 0.5 and 0.4 seconds, which led them to where they are right now. Well, Goji for a certain amount of time has been a challenger for the top spots as well. But well, back to Goji. Been distracted a little bit. But he's gonna end his next hot lap attempt right about now. Coming out of the last turn, and that looks decent. Doesn't go into the 125s in the end, but P5 still the best of the rest, I think. Yeah, I think we could call that best of the rest. The top 5 are probably the top runners, and everything else is best of the rest. As Lewis is looking for his last attempt to properly improve his previous lap time as well. 126.1. He has been dishing out amazing qualifying results every now and then, but, well, as a passionate self-reporter, he often bins it in the race. Gonna be interesting to see. Almost identical lap time to his previous hot lap attempt in Sector 1. Going through that first of the several hairpins. In Sector 2, coming up towards the second one. Still absolutely hate this turn. I don't know how all of the guys like just nail this so good. I struggled so hard through this. But yeah, all of them probably played more of one than I did. I think I might have more hours in casting in the game than actually playing the game. But yeah, that might be inaccurate. Lewis getting the toe there by Yellow Miller, who's not gonna deliver that to him, neither. In fact, Yellow Miller's gonna tuck right in behind him and Lewis bins it in the last turn. Yikes, that was looking very decent so far, but, well, ultimately, that's been it for his session. I think, yeah, we've already seen Yellow Miller, but we will head over to him again, as I think he's the only driver on a active hot lap right now. If that's Mesh, no, that's actually Harashun, but still, no, we are not gonna watch Harashun. How about Denage, though? We've not seen Denage at all. We've seen the other Merc recently, but not Denage so far. To be honest, I kind of want to spectate Domi or Meshik. Yeah, Domi has just gone over the line, and it's their last attempts, and we've seen a lap of Simmons, we've seen a lap of Rage Quit. I think we've even seen a lap of Meshik, so Domi is probably the right bet here, as I told you earlier, that we're gonna focus on these 4 guys a little bit. And well, Dummy's the last one left that we have not seen a hot lap from yet. Coming through Sector 1, slightly slower than his previous best. Can't afford any mistakes at this point. Just such a narrow margin dividing Simmons, Rage Quit and him. So really has to get it together through Sector 2 and 3 now. Lockup, major lockup on the front left. Rage Quit retiring from the session. I think he lost it coming into Sector 3. We're gonna see how his car's standing there. Yep, that does not seem natural. Yellow Miller over the line, goes 6th fastest. Beats Inferno Lewis. Am I a top driver now? Certainly up there with the big boys, I'd say. I would consider the top 4, like the ones cracking the 126 line, would consider them the absolute top tier, but you're definitely in it for best of the rest with Goji and Inferno Lewis. And Domi smashes his previous best time to go quickest. Simmons coming over the line and even quicker, almost breaching the 124s. Let's see what Meshik can do. That does not sound healthy. That is certainly not healthy. Well, we will probably have to wait until the time runs out anyways, and I really have to go to the toilet, so I'm not gonna do that right now and leave you alone with pretty much nothing. But if you need a break, now's the time. So go ahead and take it. Okay. Right in time. The race. What is with the race? It is uncomfortably silent. The session starts. Okay, that's all we need. That's all good then. The session starts. We are starting as well. I don't know. I'm getting lost, but I'm happy that the game doesn't crash as often as the previous one did anymore. To be honest, I mean, it's pretty hard to mess up more than they did in F1 2019, but I'm quite happy how stable at least our lobbies are in the F1 2020 so far. Well. Yeah, but I was quick. We're here in time. We're even in time for the formation lab, so we can talk a little bit about what to expect here. And to be honest, I have no clue. Interesting choices of tires for P11 to 15. Everyone choosing mediums and even hards in Dan H's case. Kinda makes me assume that we will see at least 2 stops from everyone else. So it's likely going to be soft, medium, soft, or soft, medium, medium. Or you go for medium, hard. Which seems to be the way for the last 5 drivers. On the other side, though, we've seen the top drivers. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, soft, medium, medium, or soft, medium, hard even. SMH. SMH, that strategy. It's making my head. Definitely gonna be a strategy for the Herbie drivers then. As he's quite a fan of the shaking of his head. And his hands and everything. Just shaking in general. Just a fun activity. Anyways, we will be heading towards the grid. Drivers will be lining up. Obviously going straight through the drivers that are already there because of realism issues, obviously. And yeah, we're gonna see the race start soon. Lights on, and lights are probably gonna be out for the drivers now. Yeah, and we're going away. We are seeing a good start up on top. There's already debris flying all the way around. And I think that might be Dan, who had a very, very, well, brutal start apparently. Dummy in the lead now, goes past, no, stays ahead of Simmons. Rage quit in P3. And wait, where is Meshik? Meshik all the way down to P7. Yellow flag, okay, safety car. Once more, we have a lap 1 safety car. What a start from Arch. Yeah, exactly, like Arch, I think, okay, since we have the time now, we might as well. You gained 5 places there. Dummy goes past Simmons on the start, which has been executed quite well as well. And yeah, Meshik losing out heavily on the start, P7 only. Definitely not where you want to be. Yeah, Havoc pogging for the good old Ascension squad. Yeah, Argent P4 actually looks very, very decent. So, let's change that back to the tires real quick. Can have an overview of who's gonna pit, who has driven what, and whatever. I mean, it's not interesting at this point. To be honest, it would be interesting to have time penalties as an option there. So like you can show the time penalties. That would be like, perfect. But yeah, that's never gonna happen. That would actually make sense. And we're here with Cody's. Well. Action is apparently delayed a little bit then, as the safety car's probably gonna be around for at least 2 laps. Considering that the drivers in the back go into the pits, and we usually wait until the gap is closed entirely. Predicted pit stop strategy, still SMH. Not much of a change going on there. And well, what can I say? I don't know. We have like the championship up on top. Top 3 runners still consisting out of 3 of the 4 runners for the championship. Meshik, current drivers championship champion. In P7 only. Considering that he is still a bit behind Dommy especially. That's gonna be a tough one for him. If Dommy wins this, he's in a very decent position. He will gain like another 7 points at least. 6 points at least, as second position could still grab fastest lap. But, oh my god, my frames are terrible. Is that a constant issue? Or is that just happening now? I think perspective might be freaking up the frames a little bit. I think on board it's usually fine. But yeah, if Dummy wins this race, he's gonna have at least a 12-point advantage over the next driver. So he could always win the championship sitting in P3. Why is Rage Quit so slow? What is happening here? Are we doing Mugallo now or what? What? Arch can't overtake. This is weird. This is so weird. Yeah, same. Like, I'm just sitting here and like... What is happening? I don't know if, like, who caused this. If Arch just accidentally, like, gone past real quick and then... Oh, what? Sorry, but what the hell did I need to do there? This game is so broken. Yeah, I think you're fine, Yellow. I mean, I have no clue what happened then either. But it's probably not your fault. Yeah, how have Goji and Yellow not got penalties? Good question. Weird. Okay, that's how you can lose your advantage as Arch again. I think safety car's probably gonna come in the end of this lap. As the grid is pretty much lined up behind... Yeah, the leaders, obviously. Come on, please. Safety car in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Boom. Arch literally forced to hand back, so I don't know what happened. Okay. Yeah, Dummy is slowing down the pace, as you're supposed to, on the safety car. Maybe... Yeah, that was on Rage Quit, I think. Wow. Yellow Miller getting a penalty for that is a yikes for sure. Dummy is... Wait, we should go to the top. Dummy is absolutely blasting away. Arch giving a penalty as well, probably for the overtake. This is just a mess, but what a restart by Dummy. He's already almost a second away. Will we see action in the pack there? I think I see Rage Quit going for at least a look. Can't go past anyone. Yellow Miller and Arch stay ahead of him. And I think no major position changes in the beginning of this restart. Professor Ball lost out 2 position. But apart from that, we are all good as Yellow Miller comes under heavy attack by Arch. But he's gonna stay ahead for now. Arch is absolutely pushing towards him. Wants to go past as quick as possible. And he seems to have the pace for that. Goji kinda backs everyone up into the traffic as Simmons and Dummy can go away in the beginning, in the lead. Already 1.6 seconds ahead, and it seems like Dummy is kinda gaining time out of Simmons as well, as he would be absolutely happy to expand his lead towards a entire second before DRS got activated again. Ooh, Meshik. Sector 2 and 3, yellow flag, that is a Ferrari. But he's already back on track, that was likely Fabian. Absolutely sorry for this terrible sound, by the way. Thank Codemasters. Let's head over to Lewis instead. He has kinda got the good view from behind. Meshik's not gonna go for a move yet. And we might jump back to Arch, who's still looking like he has decent chances to go for Yellow Miller. I think once DRS is back activated, we're gonna see a bunch of overtakes. Arch seems like he could absolutely blast past Yellow Miller and Goji and chase for the top runners. But ultimately, well, he's not quick enough to make an overtake without DRS just yet. And, well, everyone is pretty much bunched up entirely. So we would have quite the train coming out. From Goji up to, I think, Gorando. Everyone is like less than a second apart from each other. DRS enabled a yellow flag due to Fabian Gaming, I think, running wide in that first turn of Sector 3. And Goji stays ahead. Rage quit into the pits, obviously front wing damage. 6 lap old soft tires might have come to an end. And yeah, Simmons is that crucial second away from Dummy, or rather Dummy has the lead by 1.1 seconds now, and through the turns that's certainly not gonna shrink down too much unless he makes some kind of a mistake, but Dirty Hair obviously is a little factor in this. Basically everyone being separated by 0.6 seconds now. Simmons getting the toe down the straight to get closer by about a tenth, but well, has to keep it up until the next DRS zone, of course. Yellamella and Goji really not getting closer together. They're just sitting in the toe and having the best time. Simmons is certainly not going to be going for a move here, but he should have DRS. He does not have DRS. Why does he not have DRS? Pit window open for 2 stoppers if you go for hards now. I doubt anyone is going to go that early anyways. As soft medium mediums is an option. You go 7 laps on the softs. Like, if you could potentially go all the way to the 10, I think medium should be fine. Now on board with Meshik. He really wants to go past Arch, but just doesn't have the options for it. And Lewis is waiting behind him as well, just waiting for that slight mistake. That can cost him the 6th position here. And well, in the train it's quite hard to overtake someone. Sector 2 and 3, Newf and Fabian potentially coming together there a little bit. In yellow. And do we see a move by Yellamella? He is somewhat side by side around the outside. Major lockup by Goji. Yellamella will have the way better exit out of this one. Kinda gets squeezed by Goji there. Otherwise he surely had like the momentum to go past. Arch on the outside of Yellamella. Has the inside line for the next one. We'll have to let Yellamella pass again. He's super close now. Little touch there, no damage done and no spins caused. But yeah, Arch is absolutely pushing here. Good exit here, could help him on. But is not optimal, not finding the traction immediately. And, well, the train goes on. I think it's all about the pit stops by these guys now. They gotta, like, look for their own strategy. And before that, they will just continue to race in the train. So close together, but everyone has the slipstream and everyone gets the extra speed, apart from Goji there, I think, and everyone goes... Nope, Yellamella proceeds to stay out, going for the overcut there, knowing that Goji and Arch will go into the pits. With now Meshik, Yellamella and Inferno Lewis, who are gonna try an alternate strategy to go through. Goji on the hearts, and just as Arch goes for the hearts as well. I wonder if they want to go through on these. 8 laps on soft tires could probably mean something like 20 laps on hards. I think that's possible. Sure, that's not optimal, but should be alright. Meshik going out of the way to deny Lewis the slipstream. Won't matter too much, and I think all of these guys know that they're going into the pits anyways. So I doubt they're gonna be fighting this on track too hard. Lewis just touched the curb by the slightest margin there on the inside and almost was sent up flying towards the barriers. That's how crucial these ones are coming into Sector 3. Can't really touch them at all, otherwise you're just dead. And Yellow Mellow and Meshik. Meshik coming in. Lewis is proceeding to go for another lap. I think at this point it will definitely be slower, but it's gonna be interesting to see where Yellow Mellow and Meshik come out. They're standing for a ridiculously long time. Don't know if they had front wing damage or something, but they are definitely behind Goji. Ah, the penalty. Ah, yeah. Okay, never mind. I think Meshik might have had a penalty as well then, because yeah, he's still behind. But at least you got it served now. Yeah. That's certainly gonna be interesting for Meshik though, as especially he is like a championship contender, and he will have to go through on the hard tires and make up big time at the same time. I mean, he's just ahead of Rage Quit, who is a direct contender for him, of course. But at the other side, Domi is gonna have an absolute blast up there on top. He's 10 seconds clear of everyone else. Obviously still has to pit, but seems to just go on his soft tires. 10 laps old now. At this point I'm not entirely sure if that's still a good thing to stay out. Lewis is now going in. Arshu is staying out as he has pitted early, of course. Garando is continuing to close up on them. I think Danage had a major spin on the start-finish straight there, but did well to avoid everyone around him. As I think we're in for a move by Goji on Borlap. He's clear ahead of him on the straight already. Now Danage has to fight his way past. Now ahead of his teammate Infernalus, but obviously on different strategies. Both of them likely will have to stop once more. But whereas Dan will have to go for a medium or hard tire to go through to the end, Lewis will have the option to go for softs. Shift to Meshik. That's a nice perspective. Meshik's still chasing after Yellow Miller. Obviously they are on different compounds now, so it might be a bit easier for Yellow to stay ahead. Still, that's the reason why Meshik is within the top 4 of the leaderboard of the championship. And well, Yellow Miller has just entered the elite tier mid-season. Has done absolutely amazing so far, having several points on board already. But yeah, there's a little bit of a difference, I think, in between these two. Domi's now coming out of the pits. Just behind Simmons, so actually, where I thought he was pretty much untouchable up on top, he got overcut by Simmons, and they are on different strategies as well. Domi's coming out on the mediums, whereas Simmons is driving the hard tires, so Simmons is certainly gonna go to the end, whereas Dummy is likely gonna be making another soft stop. If not, he's absolutely gonna torture his mediums around the 17 laps lying ahead of him. We're gonna see about that. I'm sure he's gonna... or he wants to get past sooner or later anyways, because every lap he's stuck behind Simmons. He's just losing time to him, as it's his direct competitor, of course. And, well, there's a tire advantage for something. If you can take, like, 0.6 seconds off him every single lap just because of the tire, you ideally want to do that and not want to be stuck behind said driver. Yeah, that's certainly gonna be it. I mean, it cost him a major lockup, but I doubt that Simmons is gonna be able to defend from this. We see him in the rear mirror. He is clear behind. Now, let's look up on top. We have a battle for the top that is not that usual. I think Harashun is a Grand Prix winner, if I remember right. Yet, he is usually findable within the best of the rest. I mean, I think standing-wise, he really is the best of the rest. Tied on points with Dunk on You, who has been missing out on too many races to be competitive enough. That is Challenger tier, wrong standings. Let's get the Elite tier standings up, yeah. Yeah, Dunk on You missed at least 3 races. So... yeah, Harashun got a P2 in Great Britain. Okay, that was the big performance for him then. So yeah, he can compete up on top. But yeah, sometimes just gets played by the game badly. Let's head over to Yellamella. Yellamella is pushing up on Dan. Obviously has way fresher tires, has the way better exit. Hey, hello Stereogram, and thanks for the follow. And there we are. He's going past without any major issues. Further back, Baller, whoops, just got passed by Alex as well. And I think we might see Meshik going past Dan here too. As... I mean, I'm quite surprised, positively surprised by Yellamella. And by the pace he can go with, as he seems to be quicker than the drivers around him, and he can hold Meshik back quite well. I don't know if Meshik's just using him to tow himself through the field, but I assume if he would be faster, he'd probably passed him at this point. Top caliber driver like he is. Rage Quit is probably gonna be having a look on the main straight here, locking up a little bit. It's just gonna use the toe to stay behind Dan H. Gorando now on the pits finally. Let's see where he comes out. 14 laps on the mediums seems to be the usual lap time. Lifetime for medium tires. And he's gonna be coming out right ahead of Rage Quit, which is actually super decent. Oh my. Wait, what was... okay. Rage Quit is like seriously decent at some points, which is weird to see. okay at this point. Can't really follow with him anymore. Goji retired from the session. Is that... Oh yeah, he seemed to have spun in the wall. Which is a big yikes. He was in such a good position at the tires to go to the end. It's been like 4th or something. Virtual safety car now. Preventing any major strategy frickery. But it's probably gonna benefit Harishun, who's likely to be pitting now, I think. Is a good opportunity for him to pit without losing too much time, and he might even be able to come in, I think 3rd again, as he is pitting. Let's see where he comes out. And well, unfortunate for him that race goes green in this exact moment, but still, he's gonna have a decent time gain from that, as he's gonna come out in P4? Yeah, it's certainly not gonna go much further down than that. And he has the best tires around, or at least the freshest tires. So that's gonna be big for him. He might be in for the long run, as both Dummy and Infernal Lewis likely will have to pit again. I mean, I'm absolutely looking forward for, oh wow, for audio bugs. Yeah, definitely. That was what I was looking forward to. No, but for Dommy's late soft stint, because I see that coming somehow, and he's just like taking 3 seconds off everyone else in these late stages when he goes for the extra pit stop. And well, with the lead he's building currently, I see him rather pushing all out than trying to bring his medium tires towards the end. In 16 laps is not that far-fetched. But, yeah. I think he would not be gaining as much time if he was, like, saving tires for the later stages of the race. So, this little pack here, still beautifully bunched up. And there is another yellow flag. I think that's been Fabian Gaming again. Setting himself off. Virtual safety car, hey. And Yellow Miller. Gonna say thank you, I guess. Going for another pit stop. I wonder if that's worth it. I don't know. I feel like he could have been going for the end anyways, but Rage Quit is gonna follow. Gonna get these hard tires off and get towards the mediums. And that's probably gonna gain some time for both of them overall. Race control is enabled, and that was pretty much perfect for Yellow Miller. I think didn't even lose that much time in the pits. How's it looking right now? It's been a pretty shaken field several times. Just good old mix it up with the virtual safety cars and real safety cars, of course. But yeah, Meshik seems to be in a decent position again, and he's not stuck behind Yellowmel anymore, but rather his teammate. So these two can probably work well as a unit to get where they want to be, which is at the top, obviously. Pretty sure Harishun is going to give Meshik the position for the championship if they really reach the finish line in that constellation. I'd assume that's something you just do. Rage Quit now, setting absolute banger times on these mediums. I'm sure he's gonna be pushing past Yellow Miller soonish, as well the pace difference in qualifying has been grave. And he obviously wants to chase for the top spots as well, as this might be the championship depending, well, on the result of this race. Has the DRS, goes round the outside. Will have to go very deep to leave the inside line for Yellow Miller. Has the inside line now. And stays ahead. And there we have it. And he is taking so much time off Noof already. It's gonna be chasing him not for long, as he's gonna reach him soon. Let's head over to, I think, Harashun real quick. He's on super fresh hard tires as well. And Infernalus is just ahead of him, on the mediums of course, but he's likely gonna be struggling towards the end of this race, and that's certainly where the hard tires are gonna be better than the mediums. Dummy is still in a very, very good position. He's gained another 3 seconds, 7-second lead over Simmons right now. 10 laps to go. Still gonna be a little bit of time until the mediums start to drop eventually. And 7-second lead is decent, if I may say so. Harashun is gonna have DRS. Try to go past Lewis here. But yeah, it's not that easy through Sector 2. Newf has gone to the pits to stop for medium tires. Gonna go to the end on these. Has a decent gap between himself and Professor Borlap in P12. Still has something to do to catch Dan just ahead of him and get into the points. Alex is actually doing super decent in his Ferrari. He's currently sitting in P7 and he's looking like he can go to the end on his hard tires as well. Oh wait, has... Ah yeah, okay, Rage Quit obviously has not taken Newf, because Newf was in the pits. That makes very much sense. And Harashun is still pushing towards Lewis, which doesn't make sense at some point as well. And he's not really catching him. I think that 5-lap difference between hard and mediums is not that big, or at least not big enough to justify the hards being quicker than the mediums. But yeah, this little effect is gonna get closer and closer the further they advance. But generally speaking, I don't know, we could just go ahead and like spectate a lap of Dummy maybe. Kinda to anticipate if he's like going all out. And it kinda seems to be the way. Always full on the throttle. Yeah, I'd say Dummy's probably in for a 2-stopper. And he's still gaining tremendous amount of time. We'll have that in the side eye for this next lap. He had 9 seconds at the start of it. Gonna see where he ends up once the lap is done. Well. No real on-track battles happening here. Lewis and Harashun are still kinda close, but not really engaging into close combat already. And well, the pair behind, which is Fabian Gaming and Garando, and Fabian Gaming is a lap behind and has that terrible sound bug. So we're not gonna be sticking with him for much longer. And this, like, it doesn't really seem to go anywhere. Meshik got away from Garando a little bit as well, but it's not really getting closer to Harashun. I don't know if that was 2 laps already, because I kind of forgot to look at it. Or if it was 1 lap, but Dummy has gained a second in either 1 or 2 laps. So yeah, he's still looking very, very decent. And by the pace of him right now, I'd say it's a second in 1 lap. He's already made half a second and he's only halfway through Sector 1. I mean, I don't know, usually you run very low downforce setups around Bahrain. Because obviously there's like 4 straights and 3 of them have DRS anyways, so you just want to be quick. But maybe there's like setups that involve a little bit more focused stuff on Sector 2, and that might be why Dummy is winning so heavily on the straight, but in the middle sectors Simmons kind of stays in the same distance. I mean, Dummy takes a second away from him every single lap. It's now by 11 seconds. This time I watched the right time. And Dummy is actually pitting, so he's gonna go for another soft stint, and that's gonna be truly spicy. So Simmons goes past. He was 11 seconds ahead, I think. Pretty much 11 seconds flat. And is now losing out. I think you should not lose much more than 11 seconds on the same side. Yeah, okay. 10.8 is okay. 22 seconds. So he has to take 2 seconds away from Simmons every single lap. I am pretty sure he can do it. But it has to be flawless. So he's doing especially... Oh, wait. Arashun actually got past Inferno Lewis as well. So I don't know what the plan exactly is, but if I was Harashun, I'd probably be backing Lewis up into Meshik a little bit now. So that he can go past and get those sweet points for the championship. But I don't know if they think that far as a team. I'm pretty sure that Herb, as the team manager, would probably make the call. To let his team do that. But yeah, we'll see. Dummy absolutely baffling time through Sector 2. And he's already taken 2 seconds away from Simmons at this point, and he really didn't have a Sector 3 at all in all this. Like, his acceleration on the start-finish straight, of course, has been super delayed by the fact that he only could accelerate right about here. And well, Sector 3 is just straight, so once you're fast, you're fast. Don't really gain too much. Truly interesting is gonna be if he can, or what he can take away through that second sector, the middle sector, with all the turns and awkward angles that you have to go around. Still 5 laps for him. He can keep up his pace. He's pretty much gonna reach Simmons in the pre-last lap. I think at that point it shouldn't be much of a problem for him to make an overtake happen. Sector 2, yellow flag. And Harashun 5 seconds. Corner cutting penalty. He's gonna leave Meshik through now. He's gonna have a charge at Lewis, but he's already a good bit away. And that was certainly not intended by them. Lost so much time and now got the 5-second penalty as well. Let's go further down the line. Ragequit and Alex are gonna have to battle this out for P7 here. Alex, of course, wants to keep his precious points. It's been a while. I mean, he missed 3 or 4 races due to himself moving places. But yeah, in the recent, he just... I don't know. He wasn't quite there yet. But now he's in for a very good position if he can keep it up for the last 4 laps. Has to remain a very strong defense. Going the zigzag to deny the toe, but I think there's not much he can do here. Rage Quit has the inside line. He has the better ties. He has everything in his hands. And there he is. Passed. I think that's gonna stay that way so far. Meshik and Lewis probably gonna be meeting soonish, as Lewis' tires should definitely be getting much worse somewhat soonish. Mediums on 13 laps. Not what you want to wear right now. Ideally you would want to wear fresh softs, as Dummy is, and you can see like on the map how close he's already gotten to Simmons. In the beginning, like after his pit stop, they were pretty much divided by the entire first Sector 3 straight. And now he's like not that far away from him on the map anymore. Less than 4 seconds in 3 laps. I think he's still consistently gaining those 2 seconds per lap, and that's pretty much exactly what he has to do. Meshik's certainly gonna be gaining here as well. I don't know how he got the DR. Okay, maybe it was just a bug. He just gained half a second out of nowhere. So likely just was a bug. And he's gonna be looking for the P3 surely, as that would have major implications for the championship for him. Domi obviously would be gaining 10 points on Meshik. Wait, yellow flag. Is that Fabian Gaming again? Yeah, that's Fabian Gaming again. But no safety car, luckily. That would be very, very boring. And Meshik is now in DRS range of Lewis, truly, and maybe even an attacking range. Fabian Gaming once more with a spin, but he's back on track. And Dummy has almost reached Simmons at that point. I wonder if he's already in range for a tow, or if he like can just get like benefits from the slipstream already. We are gonna be sticking with Meshik probably for the next 2 straights, and afterwards we're just gonna jump back to Dummy, because there's gonna be an overtake. I'm pretty sure that Simmons will not be able to defend that much longer. Oh, late braking point by Meshik here. Gets a good corner. Gets a decent exit as well. Now having the DRS, and it's now having a look. Seems like he wants to go around the outside of Inferno Lewis. That was a little bit of a very aggressive defense, let's phrase it like that, as we head over to the battle for the top spot. I mean, Dummy is absolutely gonna get the perfect exit every single time, or at least the better exit than Simmons, because he just has the superior traction. I think he might even, like, he could potentially go for a move here. I think he will just stay behind to keep the DRS for the next 2 straights. And there we have it. Yeah, that's not defendable for Simmons already. Goes to the... gets faked out by Dummy. Dummy reclaims the lead with only 2 laps left on the clock. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna be staying ahead of this. Let's head over to Simmons. Yeah, no chance of fight back. And now let's go to Meshik instead. He's gonna go for the outside line once more. Tries to go for the switchback. Gets a decent exit here. Will go for the switchback once more. Gets a way better exit this time. Oh, Lewis almost driving into this car there. But I think at this point, Lewis just can't defend anymore. His tires should be absolutely dead. Not even memeing the real Lewis right now. But yeah, Meshik stays ahead on his 17-lap-old hards. And, well, seems to be in a good position for P3, which is the least he can do, really. Dummy is gonna expand his lead nonetheless. Likely by 8 points, actually, because he's most certainly gonna get the quickest lap out of this one. Interesting is gonna be Harashun. Harashun might still have a chance on Lewis. I mean, if he does not outbrake himself completely here. Last lap's coming up. Dummy is absolutely flying away. I think just to be safe, he wants to make that 3-second gap a thing. If he has a time penalty, of course, that will save him from being demoted down to second. And it's very likely that he's gonna be successful doing that. As we have Harashun coming up here. Who obviously, oh my god, I mean, Lewis is defending quite well. He has to do his absolute best to keep anyone behind him at this point. I mean, for my taste, that was a little bit late of a switch of line, but fair enough. Only minor contact and nothing really happened there. Dummy's advancing onto the pre-last straight. Only has one right-hander ahead of him. Until he will claim the next victory. And probably the quickest lap as well. So Dummy coming over the line. Let's see their time penalty or anything. Nope, no time penalty separating Simmons and Dummy. It's gonna be Dummy P1, Simmons P2. Meshik looks likely to claim P3. Harashun will have one last and desperate look around the outside. Gets pushed wide by Lewis here. DRS, everything activated, but Lewis goes over the line and Harashun has that penalty as well, so it's gonna be demoted down to 6th, and nonetheless, Rage Quit in 7th coming through. Then we have a bunch of Herbie drivers racking up quite a few points. And P8 and 9 and 10, they're gonna come through. Actually, are they gonna come through in P8, 9 and 10? We see Den H here. He's still a good chunk behind Noof. But if Noof has any unserved penalties, that's gonna be tough for him. But nope. He actually has none. Ugh, that penalty was stupid, nothing could do there. Yeah, it's unfortunate, But I mean, points is fair enough. And ultimately, it put me in traffic. Yeah. I mean, it was kinda bad for you guys. Wait, what a Ferrari ending to a Ferrari race. P13 for Fabian Gaming as well. And, oh boy. Driver of the day. Gorando. I think, yeah, in P6 he made like reasonable advances through the entire field, so it is gonna be Dummy claiming the victory ahead of Simmons and Meshik, so 3 of the top contenders. Well, to be fair, not in the order I would have wanted to see them, to keep things close, but Dummy's certainly gonna be happy about that. He will have, I think, a 16-point lead now that will see him only having to finish 5th. I think he will likely only have to finish 5th to go through. Holy moly, what a quickest lap. It's just 2.5 seconds quicker than any other quickest lap. That's just major yikes. But yeah, Dummy wins, Simmons P2, Meshik in 3rd, Lewis in P4, Gorando 5th from 12th. That's actually not that bad. Harashun and the AlphaTauri in 6th. Rage Quit dropping behind a little bit. Blaze in the Ferrari doing quite well as well. The 2 Red Bulls closing out the top 10. And ultimately, that is it from us today. I think will we have a look at the... to be honest, the look at the standings doesn't really matter, as long as there's no new results in it, and there obviously is no new results yet. And you can check them on the Discord for yourselves anyways, so yeah, I think at this point I just have to say thank you all for watching, enjoy your night, and goodbye.